Well, he attack me. But Jaden Chase, they have to make the fans them know what really are going on.
What you talking about is Jaden Place. See me up to the time, a cartel. I represent for Jaden Chase. We spray them face on the AK race. See me up to the time, the Gaza station.
Yeah, man, now move settings nation. And we no need no ladder. Now welcome to the channel. Yeah, man, Jaden Chase, and I want to bring another exciting reasoning for the topic of dancehall, entertainment, and of course current affairs. So if you're new to the channel, just a pass through, but you like the reason and of course you like the point of view, well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then kick in the like button. Now let's get right into the reasoning. Now nation, we have some great news. Vybz Kartel's defense team along with tech experts have resumed examination of Vybz Kartel's mobile devices, according to high-profile attorney Bert Samuels himself. Now we didn't know this now gonna be a one-day process, but the experts are here and freedom is a must. Now Samuels, who represents Vybz Kartel's co-accused Sean Storm Campbell, now while speaking with a major Jamaican tabloid, he was quoted as saying Vybz Kartel's phone was recently examined again by defense experts, and he said though it's Kartel's phone, it was used against Campbell as well. During the initial trial, lawyers maintained that the phone evidence used to convict the men was contaminated, as the police had used the phone's data. Justice Lennox Campbell, who presided over the trial, also admitted that the phone evidence was compromised. I'm going to say a quick clip and then we'll continue the reasoning.
Locker, the cell phone, which included a number of damaging pieces of evidence relied on by the Crown, should not have been given to the jury for their consideration based on the law.
Yes, nation, now let's continue the reasoning. And the legal team, of course, outraged at the way the courts handled the matter. Vybz Kartel and his co-accused were granted permission to appeal to the Privy Council in the United Kingdom to challenge their conviction. Now Samuel said his client remained confident. And remember, viewers, Sean Storm's phone was said to be the phone contacted when the incident was so-called taking place. Now that very phone proved the prosecutors wrong. His phone proved that he did not leave his hometown community of Waterford because the phone was pinging off a nearby cell tower. That cannot be fabricated. If the phone had received calls in St. Andrew, it would have to ping off a cell tower located in St. Andrew. It could not ping off a cell tower all the way in Portmore. And that is why it's so important for the phone to be examined. They used it to secure the conviction. But think about it. Other than that piece of fabricated evidence, or that series of fabricated evidence, they have no proof that Vybz Kartel, Sean Storm, Madsus or Cairo were ever at any of the locations that the prosecutors placed them at. Them say a thing going up at Avondale when forensics was carried out at the location. When the experts visited the scene, there was no trace of any activity like that taking place at that premises. Nothing. No blood stains and no bleach. Nothing never take place, so the scene was never cleaned up. When this was exposed by the defense, it was clear to everybody that was taking note of what was taking place during the trial that this scenario, this story that the prosecutors have presented did not take place. And those so-called text messages clearly were created to fit the script of the prosecutor's story. Prosecutors claimed items went missing and revenge was carried out. But when the witness was asked by the judge if he was an individual who carried firearms, he said yes. These seem to be individuals carrying out their own criminal activity, and it appears they were charged with some type of crime. And it is clear that is where this conspiracy started. Initially, Vybz Kartel was charged for possession of herb. Then, them tried to pin a situation that took place in nearby community of Gregory Park, where these individuals are from. The same crown witness and Mr. Williams. And it was always long suspected that crime was actually the crime they were going to charge Mr. Williams and the crown witness with. That case subsequently was never brought to court. It just vanished. I never 100% agree with Bounty. When Bounty Killer say, from his own perspective and from legal documents, no public knowledge, it is clear agents of the state went after Vybz Kartel Nation. The lawyers themselves have stated this in different ways on numerous occasions. Bert Samuel's daughter stated that the motions that they filed were being overlooked. She kissed her teeth on national TV, outraged at what was taking place in court. As a criminal defense attorney, it was clear to her that this case had nothing to do with the law. It became very clear to Isaac Buchanan that this case had constitutional violations all over it. It was apparent to Bert Samuels, even though he was one of the people who said that maybe we don't need the Privy Council. Yes, he was quoted as saying that. But in this particular case, it was clear to him that only Jamaica's actual highest court, residing off the island, far away from the quote-unquote system corruption. We could use the word system for a better choice of words, but the state is always listening. But based on Bert Samuel's statements, it is clear Vybz Kartel's phone and the fact that they tampered with the phone and fabricated evidence is indeed one of the keys to Vybz Kartel and his co-accused getting their names cleared. A kangaroo court justice them served, where there is no actual cross-examination of the evidence being presented. Just one person attack and they must say that one, and then the person who preside over the case just hand out a conviction. The case is worse than when Dan sent for you. At least in a situation like that, your side of the story can be heard. It's a powerful update from Bert Samuels himself. You know what I mean? Also, for the fans, you know what I mean? It is very good to hear that Sean Storm, of course, remains extremely confident, knowing freedom is a must. You know how long some people feel like Vybz Kartel and them co-accused, they're gonna give up. You know how long them feel like the fan base, they're gonna give up. Them that expect with a stop say freedom is a must, them can't stop that. As your Iwin would have said, what is to be will be, and you will see in due timing. But remember, you have some people out there who don't like them type of story. It bond them for no say Vybz Kartel will be released soon. I mean, not just mean members of state, even in the dancehall community, even in the music industry, based on the statement made by other artists, some producers and other stakeholders. Some of them it take them years to voice them opinion. Some of them have still never done so, even though them know for a fact Vybz Kartel is one of the only dancehall artists, not the only, one of. Big up Bounty, big up Budry, big up all of the outspoken artists, them, big up Spragga them. But the general is definitely an artist where defend the business, whether in interviews, whether in music itself, or in just public declarations. The industry needs Vybz Kartel. The amount of people here make announcements that they're going to put out album. And we look forward to Bounty album, of course, King of Kingston. But other than Bounty, the amount of other people here talk about album. And guess who the fans still are beg for your album? King Addy himself. One Vybz Kartel. And a freedom for the Gaza 4. Despite what some people might feel, you know what I mean? Bert Samuels, along with You know what I mean? Bianca, Isaac, Valerie, Tom, them. People have mixed reviews about your representation. I will say this. Motions were filed. They were just overlooked by the judge presiding over the trial. When Bianca pointed out that the phones were tampered with, the judge himself agreed. But even though he agreed that the evidence should have never been used in open court, he allowed it to be presented. And he never advised the jury to say, yo, you know what I mean? Disregard that. He allowed them to hear fabricated evidence, fake, false, untrustworthy evidence in a courtroom. One of the biggest blunders in justice history. If you see it at this moment in time, I don't know no other case where he did preside over. But his legacy is he was the judge that allowed this to happen on his watch. Talk to me in the comment section. Vice one called Jaden Chase, the dancehall correspondent, the Gaza representative. As I remind you, if you're new to the channel, to the movement, just a pass through. But they like the reason, of course, they like the point of view. Well, drop a like, bust a share, tell a friend, use up the comment section. You know something, you know the sentiments, and for those who don't, you man out move settings, fam. And we no need no ladder. My sentiments for you and yours are to live, love, and prosper until we reason again.